What's good, everybody? Hey, welcome back to my channel, Smoking and Grilling with me, AB. Now, you guys read the title. You know I'm making a navy bean soup, right? Hey, this is super easy, not a whole lot of ingredients. And what I want to tell you is, listen, I got like a little game changer. If you guys can get this right here, that's just liquid smoke. If you can get some liquid smoke at your local grocery store, hey, listen, it's a must-have. But other than that, I'm gonna still say, listen, this is like a super easy and delicious, soup recipe that, hands down, can't nobody even touch it. And we're gonna serve this with some cornbread muffins. Hey, this is really a standalone meal. I want you guys to let me know down in the comment section below after you watch this and tell me, would you serve this with something else or would you eat this just by itself and some cornbread? Hey, with that being said, we finna go over these ingredients and then we finna get right into this video. Okay, now let's just go over the ingredients. I'm gonna go ahead and start by just talking about the chicken broth, or you guys can use chicken stock, either or. You know what? Right here, I got 8 cups. Now the reason I got enough to do 8 cups is because I want to make sure that once I put my ham bone and my ham shank along with my beans and everything else, I want to make sure I got enough to cover, the meat. That's key. So I'm just gonna say, to be safe, go ahead and get yourself, at least 8 cups. And then what you don't use, listen, I cook a lot with it and you follow my recipe, listen, that's what you need to have in your cupboard anyway. All right, so we got chicken broth. This right here is just a ham shank. This right here is gonna be the meat. We're gonna shred this when it's all done, put this back into the pot, and this right here is gonna give us that, that meat version of it. Now, I should have said something when I did my my holiday ham, and the reason being I should have said something about we gotta save the bone. You know why? Because listen, the bone got the flavor, you guys. So if you guys watch my raspberry chipotle ham, this is the bone from that. This is what's going into this. We're gonna show you how to just raise it up and make sure that we got that that flavor. Now, I started off by saying this right here, this liquid smoke, you know what, it might not be available to everybody, but you know what, you gotta ask. It's worth having it. Listen, you only need a little bit of this, about a half a teaspoon, and this should just take this to a whole different, level. Then, okay, we got celery. This is celery, this was 2 stalks. What I did was I just cut it down the middle. I cut one of the stalks down, both of them down the middle, and then I went ahead and just chopped it just to give it a little bit of extra texture, and just not the fact that, well, let me just say this, just the fact that celery tastes great and this combination of flavors along with these beans is awesome. And then we're doing the same thing right here with this onion. This right here was a yellow onion. Hey, listen, this right here is my own little addition, for me that I like. I suggest you guys just try it. Now, I got 2 garlic cloves. All I'm gonna do is smash them, make sure they completely peeled, and I'm just gonna drop them in the inside. Right here, I got black pepper. This right here is 1 teaspoon of black pepper. And here we got thyme and we got parsley. Both of these are dried and these are 1 teaspoons also. So, and then let me just talk about this. I want you guys to see this. This says Great Northern beans, right? I didn't use navy beans because the navy beans at my store was they already small, but these look like super small. I needed to be just a little bit bigger. Now, I want to talk about this. You guys see them in the bag. Normally, the way I was raised also is we soak our beans the night before. But we're gonna do something a little different. If you guys been following some of my crock pot videos, like red beans and rice and stuff like that, I talk about a hot flash, hot soak, or a quick flash of the beans. That's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna take the beans, right? First, I'm gonna go ahead, here's my pot. I'm gonna put some water in this, I'm gonna get it boiling. Once it becomes boiling, I stop it, and then I dump my beans inside, and I let them soak for about an hour. You know what I mean? We gonna say, just to be frank, you're gonna let it soak for an hour. After that, you're gonna rinse them, and then you're gonna just, you can go ahead and put them in the pot. But that's what you wanna do. Remember, it's a hot flash. Boil water, add your beans, wait 1 hour, rinse, and then dump. All right, so with that being said, we're getting ready to get right into it. Okay, obviously, we got to put water in there, right? So I put 6 cups of water, and directly across from me, you guys can't see it. It'll be on the right-hand side, the way you see in the video. I have a gauge right there, so I ended up putting 6 cups of water in there. Now, for the beans, I have to take the beans and put them on a plate, and then I sort through them. Make sure they don't have no rocks, no discoloration or nothing like that. So once it comes to a boil, you know what? Then I go ahead and remove it from the heat. So since I'm using that plate right there, I just, turn it off. And then I turn off everything, and I put my lid on after I put my beans in there, and then we're gonna leave it in there for 1 hour. Okay, it's been 1 hour. Just moving around, just looking at them. Now I'm getting ready to pour these beans in a colander, you know what I mean? Just give them a rinse, and after we rinse them, I'm gonna go ahead and put them in my pot. Okay, got my pot here. I just finished rinsing my beans. I'm gonna go ahead and just pour it, inside. Now that we have that done, now we just go ahead and then add the rest of our ingredients inside of here. We're just gonna go ahead and start with, our celery. And then our onions. Now, before I add my dry seasonings, what I wanna do is start putting a little bit of my chicken broth inside. So, chicken broth. Now, you remember the garlic? What I'm doing now is I'm just peeling off the excess skin. I just smashed them and I just drop them inside. So this one right here, you get to see, look, after I smashed it with, with the flat end of the knife, here it is right here. We just drop it in. Now, we'll come with the black pepper. Now you guys might see why I wanted to have the liquid in there. Makes it easier when, when I stir it all up together. All right, then we got our thyme. And this right here is our parsley. Now, to the liquid smoke. This is it right here. We just want to get about a half a teaspoon. Now, the reason you want to go with a half a teaspoon, because listen, this is like truly concentrated. You know what? So a little goes a long way. You just want people to be thinking like, what is that? Now, you guys can put carrots in this. Some people put carrots in theirs. I elected not to do mine that way. I like mine just the way you see it. And then all I'm gonna do is, I'm getting ready to put the meat in. After that, then we're gonna go ahead and put it on the stove. We're gonna bring it up to a boil. Once it boils for about 5 minutes, then we're gonna just put it on low and let it simmer for about 3 hours. Just until we get the desired texture and the softness out of these beans. Now you just wanna go ahead and get your ham bone, or your turkey, your smoked turkey leg or whatever type of meat you're using. And you just wanna get it ready and just go ahead and submerge it in the in your chicken stock. Now you understand, listen, it needs to be covered completely. That's why we have the extra stock. Now for me, I'm gonna go ahead and open up another one of these chicken broths. You know what I mean? Because you just wanna make sure you got enough chicken broth to cover your meat. So I'm just gonna add a little bit more to it. This is what it looks like. Now, like I say, I'm gonna transfer it over to the stove. We wanna bring it up to a boil. Once it starts boiling, I'm gonna set a timer for 5 minutes. After that, then I'm gonna reduce the heat down to a simmer, and then we're gonna cook it for 3 hours. Okay, now you can see what it looks like. Listen, I didn't do too much of nothing. I stirred it only one time in the whole 3 hours, right? So you can see, look, it thickens up, the color sort of changes. And when you talk about fall off the bone, look at this. You see that? I didn't do anything. Look, the meat just falls off as it's, simmering. That's what that low and slow gets you right there. So you guys can see that. Now, for those of you guys that don't eat pork, you know what? You can do the exact same thing with like a smoked turkey leg. You substitute the meat. All you got to do is, instead of doing the ham, you just change that to smoked turkey. Real easy. So now what I'm gonna do is take this out, and any extra fat that I see that didn't render down, you know what I mean? We take pieces out like this right here. You guys gonna watch, I'm gonna shred some of this meat, and then I'm gonna go ahead and put it in a bowl. Now you can serve this over rice. You can serve it by itself with, a cornbread muffin, whatever you do, that's totally up to you. But this right here, I'm telling you, the flavors in this is just incredible. Now here you want to be careful, because listen, you're searching for those bones, and then you're gonna see some unrendered fat. You just don't want to beat your beans up. So as you're taking out your bones, it's gonna have some meat attached to it. So then you can work on it. You can take the meat out. Look at that right there. That's some good meat. So then we just add that back to the pot. And then, like I said, you just want to be careful so you don't turn it into like a mush. You know what I mean? You just want to like look around, and as you're looking around, you'll find some other bigger chunks of meat that fell off of the bone. You can just break those up also. And then once you're done doing that, then it's time to go ahead and plate. You can see right now, I'm putting it in that bowl, and you can just see the thickness, and as it cools, it's starting to cool, but you can see the steam, and that lets you know that it's still hot, but it thickens up real nice. Look at that right there. I don't know whether I'm gonna pour this over a bed of rice or what, but there you go, folks. That's navy beans at its finest. So tell me what you guys think about this one here. You know what? This is just a super easy yet delicious, navy bean soup. I know maybe the liquid smoke might have just been a little bit different for what you guys have been used to, but I promise you, you gotta try to look for it at your grocery store, your local grocery store. Hey, with that being said, that, and listen, I didn't say this earlier, but I wanna make sure that I said this. Listen, you wanna use a low sodium, chicken stock or broth. Reason being, because listen, we putting pork in there. Listen, we can just cut down on it, and I can tell you it needs no salt. It's super delicious this way and just easy. And don't forget to let me know down in the comment section below, what would you serve this with? Would you put this on a bed of rice, you know, along with the cornbread, or just have the navy beans along with just cornbread by itself? You guys let me know. Hey, so check this out. If you're new to my channel, let me just take this time to say, hey, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video, and tell everybody out there there's a channel out here that's simplifying these recipes and taking the mystery out of cooking. And with that being said, you guys been watching me for a minute. I'm out of here. Peace.